worked. Because it's just horrible. Like it was, and it was total shock. Like I don't think I was being cold. I just didn't know. So basically, there's this little guy, and they start, and then all of a sudden they put him in like a little McDonald's. Like a little fries lamp, and the little fries lamp up there, and they roll the baby on there, and they start, and they're very rough with them. I found myself getting up. I was like, hey, excuse me, we've been working on that for 9 months, and you're flinging it around, and because I still pick him up like this. But you gradually get a little bit more confident with it, but. Why do I have to feel like I have to stand up during the birth? But anyway, so he goes from this little purpley thing, flopping around, doing nothing. And they start working on him, and literally, it was like a Disney movie or a Spielberg movie. There's this little pink center forms, like right in the center of his chest, and it just spreads. And it spreads out all through his chest and his legs and his arms, and he just becomes a baby, like in front of your eyes. It's like, it was amazing. And then they said, so Daddy, do you want to come with the child while we weigh him and do his basic first checks? I'm like, no, I'm good. I'm going to stay with his mother, who I know. So Jane, that was the other one. Do you want to cut the cord? I was like, no, wait. And I'm really glad I didn't, because they had like there was a thing with it, so there was an issue with it. So I thought, like, if I had done that, I'd be like, I damaged him with the scissors. Plus my hands were like. And the other thing is, I really feel that they should feed the father better during that process. Did you find this? Like, sure, the wife's having the baby, and she's got all that, stuff going on. But I was hungry. I got hungry. I got kind of grumpy. So, I was constantly like Jane packed all these snacks. Like that is a smart woman. Jane she packed snacks, and I thought they were snacks for her. They were snacks for me. So I'm literally like, they're in the operating room, everyone's got their gloves on, little things on, I'm like, tell me how it's going. I don't know. So I ate through the entire process. So, yeah. What was the question? That's father who changed me. Yeah, I mean, that's the thing that sucks the most about being a father is that all of a sudden, all those movies where people do terrible things, I have a difficult time watching them. Like, if babies get hurt or threatened, I'm like, well, this is unacceptable. Like, even if it's like a tiny little side plot, like I watched a movie recently where it was a security guard, and he was like in the background. He's a security guard at a bank, and you find out that he's just about to have a baby, but it's just like, again, it's like not part of the plot at all. This is all about the guy's bank rob. He gets shot. The rest of the movie, I kept hearing Jane saying, well, what is the mother gonna do? Because he's lost the job, and the baby's gonna be on his own. He's not gonna have a father. Missed the entire rest of the movie because I was just traumatized by the fact that this woman was gonna have to raise a kid without some guy who worked for a day on the film. So that's a big difference for me. That was the biggest sudden change that I was completely unaware of. It's I prefer now movies where zombies are fine because they're dead already. But so I can go for that stuff. But the idea of people, all of a sudden, I find myself very sensitive to the whole sort of breaking up of a family, and which is like it's just a part of like every movie you ever see now. And I cry in telephone commercials. That's the other one as well. What's the call? What's the call? Fast, get out of the dog food. The dog food all the time. So. Longest answer ever. Longer than the birth of the child. The next question? Yes.
It seems like the Stargate franchise is pretty supportive of the cast writing and directing anything they're interested in like that. Is there any reason that we've never seen you write or direct with Stargate?
That's a tough one, because the thing they told me, which is probably just an excuse, was they said, well, if you're going to direct an episode, then we've got, excuse me, breakfast. Then we're going to have to take you out of the episode before so you can prep, you're going to be light in the episode that you're directing, and then you got to do post-production so you can be light in that. So basically they said, you know, we got to take you out of 3 episodes, which is not good for us. So they're not big on that. The other issue, like when I first started, I wanted to write episodes, I wanted to direct episodes. After a couple of years, there's just no time. I mean, time is the reason why I pushed to do stuff in my hiatus was because then you have time to sort of relax and actually do the job. My concern with directing the show is that you just don't have, you just wouldn't be able to sort of see things through the whole process. And they were very helpful during the hiatus. But to be honest, the very strong sense I got from them, and I think a lot of us got from them, was that it wasn't something they were happy about doing. I don't think they liked the idea of us directing. So I think they were very, very helpful when we were on holiday, and it was our own project. But I think they have a very specific way of doing stuff, and which I understand. I mean, it's not, and also it's one thing for me to go off and direct a movie of my own, with my own money and my friends' money and that kind of stuff. This is a big deal. It's sort of not to be taken lightly. So I would very much like to have directed an episode, and who knows, maybe I can bug them about directing something later on. But while you're on the show, it was definitely difficult, and I think it was not exactly. I don't think it's their cup of tea. Not quite what they wanted. So. Hello.
Hi. In Atlantis, McKay has this sort of thing with Shepard always getting the Kirk moment.
Yes.
Taking the shirt off, getting the girl.
I see you managed to get your shirt off.
Was the Dog's Afternoon your chance to get your shirt off and all be the butt of the joke?
I do my best to keep my clothes on. Generally, it's better for my career and my social life. There's definitely, this last season 5, there's been a lot of interesting stuff because there's this sort of triangle happening with Ronan and Expo 4 as well, isn't it? Sort of triangle happening with Ronan and Keller and McKay, which is an odd combination. So basically, it's kind of, I mean, it's funny because I think Joe would probably like to have that himself, not to be seeing people, not to be having like a one-episode affair with people. I don't think that's his. He really, I did think, wanted an arc of a relationship throughout that. And he always joked that his girlfriend on the show was me. The McKay was basically his girlfriend because it's the one that we have the relationships that go up and down, and I'm yelling at him, he's yelling at me, we're apologizing, like make-up scenes, make up. And he was always lamenting the fact that I wasn't a hot blonde. Find myself in that position a couple times myself.